What up, though? Welcome to another episode of Midwest Breeze Bosses. I'm sitting here with none other than my big cousin Brute Dog, Tomos, Andre Bey Bell, legally. We just kicking it. You see, we got some things there. We got the Baylor Luke. We got the Andre for Andre. We got the Rick Ross Hurricanes. Real good book. If you ever get a chance to actually check that out. But yeah, we gonna just get into Brute's story coming up in Detroit, moving on to Minneapolis, and what that's gone like for him. First and foremost, let's just start with you coming off. Let's say right now it's June, July, August, September. So roughly 3.5 months. It'll be 1 year that you've been married. How has that been for you, going from singlehood to marriage life?
I think it's been like a big change just to getting back used to sharing your space. You know what I'm saying? And we have our challenges sometimes, but you know, I wouldn't trade them for nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So I just learned to mold myself, you know what I'm saying, to be a team player, and that's basically what we're doing. We a new team, and we trying to learn our positions, you know what I'm saying, where we can be successful and everybody could do what they, you know what I'm saying, gonna do in life and gain from us being together. Absolutely,
because you went from just having one kid recently, last year as well, welcome the birth of your first son, Messiah, little Saya, and before that, Sanaya Lay. Now you've got 6 kids in general, and then you've got a couple of queens and kings. So how instrumental has that been in your fatherhood growing up now?
Well, I guess how I look at fatherhood is just basically you're the grand teacher. You're the teacher of life for them, and you basically just want them to do best as they can, and you know what I'm saying, be successful in life, and hope that you be able to instill morals and values in them, and you know, basically just so they can be, you know, young bosses and everything, and make sure you ain't got to worry about them and all that stuff. You know, that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this guy doesn't sit still long. I got to tell you that. Guys is always on the go, always looking to a new avenue to better the riches and set the next generation up. So let's just take a minute and just trip down memory lane. 17th Street, 18th Street, 11th Street, 12th Street. Those are familiar areas to you. Yeah. Let's kind of talk about that. Growing up in Metro Detroit area, attended E-Course High School for a short period at that time. How instrumental would you say your time in Detroit, E-Course, River Rouge, Southwest, Greater Detroit area was for you?
Well, that was so we've been back and forth pretty much since we moved to Minnesota, and you know, I went to like 2nd, 3rd grade and out there at E-Course, and then high school. You know, we was kind of back and forth just while my mom was getting stability as being a young adult, trying to, you know, grow and stuff, having 3 boys. So 11th grade year, that's when I went to E-Course High, and it was cool, you know what I'm saying? It was it gave me a chance to be around my family, like, you know what I'm saying, like no other. I was able to, you know, do holidays and stuff and be there for them, learn from them, be around my uncles, see my grandma whenever I want, you know what I'm saying, and just basically it was a cool time though.
Absolutely. Let's just take a moment of silence. Rest in power, Auntie Hazel, Grandma Hazel, the Brute here, shining star, real sweet lady. Haven't needed another angel, so God called her home a couple years back. Yeah. Well, now that you mentioned E-Course High, around that time, you've been cutting my hair forever. I'm growing braids now, but you know, you still be lining me up and getting me together. But Guyz been cutting my hair for like my whole life, literally. So around the time, I remember you had a lot of money. You were cutting hair. You also was making music with YMP. What did that stand for again?
It's been a while.
I don't know, man.
Young Baby Pay.
Yeah, I was saying. I
apologize, my boy. I apologize, my boy. Young Baby Pay. Yeah, those was my guys, though, man. Some cool guys from back in the day, man. And I still got most of them on Facebook and stuff. Tap in from here and there, seeing stuff that they got going on in life.
Your boy B. Martin got that weight off of him. Full cleanse, man. Speaking food and everything,
Yeah, that's good, man. You got focus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that just brought me back to a memory. I know you remember those block clubs at 17th Street.
Yeah, man. We be out there hooping from the beginning of the block to the end of the block and something going on, man. I don't even know if they still do that.
I don't think they do. I haven't seen a block club in a while, but it's been a lot of, it's kind of be dangerous in the inner city, and stranger than that. Right now you're wearing Air Forces. I know it was time where those Rasheed Wallaces were highly sought after. You was one of the fortunate ones to grab a pair, but you also went through a little experience with those shoes.
Yeah, I was like about 15 or 16, I think, when those came out. And man, I had ended up getting robbed for them, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I got jumped by like 6 or 7 dudes, and you know what I'm saying? They ended up wrestling me out of my shoes and stuff, and ended up getting my jaw broke, you know what I'm saying, in the fight. So it was just that was a little traumatic event, but you know what I'm saying, I ain't let that keep me down. I just kept pushing, and you know what I'm saying, they was on these shoes.
Yeah, you moved with the punches, and since then, this guy's his inventory, he didn't pull it out. It varies, you got the off-whites, you got the dead stock Jordans, some highly sought after shoes. So they ain't getting these ones off of you, like So from the Downriver area to Michigan, but let's talk about for a short second. Your dad originates from Michigan as well.
Yeah.
Your mom as well. And just to delve a little bit and just to their spiritual journey, they were, if I remember correctly, the great sheik of the Moorish
Grand Sheik. My father was a Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and basically that's one of the highest ranking things that you can obtain. Basically, it'll be, I guess, what a Christianity will have as a preacher. You know what I'm saying? So he was Grand Sheik, and my mom, she stood by his side while they were together. But then she ventured off and went into the Nation of Islam, and then Christianity. Just trying to find her spiritual quest. And I guess Christianity is where she ended up. You know what I'm saying?
Would you say the Moorish American, just the principles, could you say that they've guided your life thus far?
Yeah, just kind of growing up with the teachings and basically interpreting what your parents give to you, and things that you read, it just kind of balance you out and give you kind of like a different outlook on situations. So, that's
all about the betterment and empowerment. Yeah, recently I know I have put you on to 50 Cent's book. I think it's Grinds Smarter. Something along those lines. What did you take away from that book?
That book, man, that was a good book too, man. Basically, he went in on basically believing in yourself no matter what, and basically obtaining the power after you start hitting goals and stuff. And he talked about like different stuff that he would do, and not drinking, and kind of just always staying focused on what he wants for his life.
Different routines, keeping the dream on the front.
Yeah,
it's actually called Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter.
Okay, yeah.
That's what it's called. Good book. I still haven't even checked it out, so Kaz got me beat there.
Yeah, it's a good
And you yourself, you're building your own empire. I mean, you got the clothing line, which I'm wearing right now, SC Visions. Got one of the original tees right here. It's kind of a short story. Cuz actually jump started the brand just within the birth of his first boy. He actually did a little run, no marketing at all. You sold out everything within what, like a couple of days, or was it a week before the baby shower?
It was at least about a couple of days to shy of a week. We had the jogging suits. I sold out those pretty much in the first day.
Yeah. And just to kind of just delve back in the past for a minute. We both lost a loved one recently within the last year. Was more like a best friend than anything to you, more like an older sister, third mom. to me, Andrea,
To me
self-made
too.
Thomas, money bag munch as some call her, munchy,
Yeah.
crunchy, munch crunch. Depending on, a lot of people are going to be checking in from the 48229 area. She's also built a legacy here in Minnesota and so many other places. Andrea was very loved, and I just wanted to take a moment just to kind of just highlight that outside of you actually delving into clothing, she actually delved into clothing. Was it around the same time?
Yeah, it was around the same time because we used to talk about it every day, and we were just basically establishing the names that we was gonna pick for our brands. And she had some names I can't remember now, but man, she ended up falling on self-motivated.
Yeah.
And man, she was determined. She was like, man, I'm gonna get this going, cuz I'm about to order all this stuff. I'm gonna do this myself because she was paying. We got a cousin named Janae. She was paying her.
Yeah.
But she was like, man, I could do this myself. It's just gonna be a little bit more work. But she was a Virgo, so she was all about saving money.
Yeah.
So she was like, yeah, it's
Nate
cool.
Cornett,
Yeah, it's cool. But I want to save my money and do it myself. So she got it going, and everybody around her, you know, she was teaching them how to use that machine.
Yeah.
She was pressing them up.
Let's raise a glass to money bag lunch or one time.
Yeah, for sure.
One time for money bag lunch. One time.
For sure.
Rest in power, Munchie. Rest in power. Yeah, cuz got to it, man. I remember her texting me one day and like, oh, so what you think about this? And I told her, stay focused, keep going. I helped her semi with the marketing and whatnot. But right now, you've got a couple of things going yourself. The clothing line, obviously, we touched on that. Still in progress, more stuff on the way with that. Where can the people follow you at on Instagram and Facebook?
Okay, Facebook, I'm Dre Cash Bell. Instagram, just Dre Cash. And also I got a production and filming company.
The Guyz Films.
The Guyz Films.
And D and D Kennels.
That's on Instagram. D and D Kennels. That's where you can find all the dogs with our kennel club. And yeah, man.
Hustlers in your blood. You know what they say, if you can make it in Detroit, you can make it anywhere. So you got the dogs going. Before the dogs though, I stayed with you a lot through my life too. As I was working through stuff, you always been that clutch for me. Certainly appreciate you. That's why I had to present you with this bottle of Andre for Andre. But you actually were selling cars a while ago. What would you say some lessons that you learned just getting into that game?
Basically, after you learn the auction game and you able to get the cars, and then you dealing with the buyers, that's the number one thing that I feel on is not taking them to the Secretary of State, DMV, I don't know what it's called, wherever y'all at.
DVS.
But it got a lot of names, but wherever you take the person to register the car to get the car out of your name, you make sure you do that step, because people do all type of crazy stuff, get tickets in your name, the cars get impounded and abandoned, and some states will send you a citation for that. Make sure you get that out of your name, and make sure you keep all proof of the transaction.
That's a major key for your major key. Make sure you keep proof of the transactions. We live in a automated world, but it's still good to keep proof. It's still good. It can save you time and it can keep you out of trouble. So you're selling the cars. You also got the D and D Kennels. Let's touch on that briefly. What made you even get into selling dogs? Was it just how hot it is, how hot of a topic it is in industry, or was it more so something else?
I think basically it was looking for a new stream of income. So it was a investment move. You know, I like dogs anyway, but it was more of an investment move to try to get more money, you know what I'm saying, in the future. So basically, I don't know, man. I just got into it for the money, and you know what I'm saying, and giving people pets, and because there's a lot of people that need companions that suffer from like depression and stuff. So I was like, man, that's a good thing.
You couldn't have picked a better time either. A lot of people with those COVID dogs. It's not just COVID babies, it's COVID dogs going on. You see them, and like, Charles, come here. You can't tell them people no different. That's their child.
Yeah.
And not gonna play about their child. So get with D and D Kennels.
Yeah.
Go ahead. They just got a new litter in.
Yeah. Get the Merles and the Blues and yeah, Fresh Bulldogs. Go ahead and tap in.
What would you say the hardest lesson that you learned so far in the industry that you're in, as far as the dog breeding?
Basically, the investments take time because I'm like, man, I want some money now, but like I done had my first dog for at least a year, and she still haven't went in the heat. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta wait for her to go in the heat, then it's safe, and like when she mature a little bit and go in her second heat. So it's kind of like levels and different stuff, and everybody got different ways that they do their dog breeding. But I don't want to be thirsty, and I want to produce quality dogs. You know what I'm saying? So people giving me all this money for a dog, I wanted to be, you know, stand on business in my name, that they getting a good product from me.
Of course. And that kind of goes full circle on it. No matter the, I would say the product, it's just hustling economics. Like you got the product, you got supply and demand, you got the customer service, and you always just try to, you know, give more than what it is that they're paying you for. You want to give more value. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up, yeah.
And you actually went to college for a short period. I know you went to, what was the name of it? It was here in Minneapolis?
Yeah, I went to Media Institute. And,
MIT?
Yeah.
Okay. That was for business management, no?
Business management and music.
Would you say from, because that's been a while ago, would you say that if you could go back, would you do it differently? Or would you say that everything that you learned from just being out in the field and learning was more instrumental to your success and successes that you're seeing, opposed to if you would have gone through that school route as most people do?
Well, I don't know. I kind of just believe in my journey. I believe it was part of my journey, and if it was meant for me, it was kind of meant for me. You know, I don't never want to question what I could have did different, because it's all about, you know, the life that you live and get to the point that you are, and just make the best of every day. You know, so that's kind of the approach I take to it. But you know, different strokes for different folks. So, and some people might believe like, yeah, I should have stayed in school.
Yeah.
I got what I need to know there. You know what I'm saying? And the object of the game is to make money. So
I hear you, cuz. You know, I went to Tennessee State University. Cleo was a really, I would say 50% of the reason for me going. The other one was like, I'm just trying to get away from Michigan. And, you know, I went there, got a 3.2 GPA, could have stayed. Was well performing student, just was like, man, it's not nothing I want to just continue to do for the rest of my life, to learn and not make no money and go through the college struggle. That was the main thing. But
it was an experience for you, though,
yeah,
right?
It was an experience, and it's definitely been instrumental, and I met a lot of people I still talk to today, so I know what I know. I wouldn't do anything differently, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's life, like you said. What's the point of thinking about yesterday when you got today?
Yeah.
You're missing out on opportunities today.
Pause.
You know, this the Midwest Breeze bosses, cuz all bossed up, got the rings on. He just got one ring on.
Yeah, I got one ring on today.
Got the jewels on. Check you out, big brute dog. Big brute dog.
Long way, man. Came a long way, man.
Now, outside of parenthood, you're also an older brother. Would you say, being the oldest child, that there was a lot of pressure put on you at a young age?
Yeah, because I felt like I had to make sure my brothers was good, and I kind of genuinely, I don't know, I just basically taught them whatever I learned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It was like,
we're not gonna get into the specifics here.
But I try to teach them how to survive. You know what I'm saying? Survive out here and not need nobody.
You know, it's a song from back in the way. It takes money to make money. I can't let it get away from me.
Yeah.
So you know, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
But let's just talk about your boy Aaron for a minute. He started a moving company roughly what 2.5 years ago during the pandemic,
Yeah, don't quote me,
2019,
but yeah, it
somewhere around that.
Yeah.
What was in that moment when you found out that he had transitioned from what he was doing into that? How did that make you feel?
It made me feel good because he was working as a mover, and then he bossed up and got his own company, and he showed me a check for one day, and it was like $2,600, and I was like, man, you made that today? I hope he don't get mad at me for telling his business, but that boy sings some real bread. Yeah. So yeah, I was proud of him in that aspect. That he took initiative and started something for his future.
Then you got Tone Stats, better known as Tonio the Sound Tone. Stats with the music. Did he? Was you one of his earlier influences? Or how did that work out?
I don't think so, because me and my brothers, we all leaders, so we never gonna say, they never probably gonna say they look up to me. But you know what I'm saying? But you just kind of know some of the things that you laid out, and they kind of followed behind and took what they gonna get from it and put their spin on it. But he used to like a lot of New York rappers, like Lloyd Banks, and out the G Unit camp, and then
the Locks, no, the Locks.
The Locks, yep. He was a big Jadakiss fan, and Styles P. Styles P was I think was his favorite. Yeah, but he used to listen to a lot of New York guys and Yonkers over in that region.
It's still documented on YouTube. I remember when you used to bring the Minnesota music down and I used to fill up my MP3 player. That's how long it's been. I used to have my Walkman and my MP3 player.
Fill them up. I was on the LimeWire. Y'all know about them downloads, boy.
That fun from mobile era. Man. Get a ringtone in that one.
Yeah.
Everybody had that Soulja Boy kiss me through the phone.
Kiss me through the phone. See you later on.
See how far music has gone from the MP3 to this streaming. It just shows that the world continues to progress, and you either gotta roll with it or get left behind.
Yep. Definitely do. And that's something you gotta pay attention to.
Let's bring it back. You recently just celebrated your 32nd birthday?
32nd.
Your 32nd birthday. You're 32 now. What's your plans for the rest of this year across these different ventures you've established? You got the clothing, you got the Dodge, you've got the videography company, and you probably got some other things under the scenes. I think you said that you're going to get back into reselling cars. What's some of your goals for the rest of this year?
Basically to get more focus. Even though I'm like a jack of all trades, it's like I can't really focus on something. So I recently was like, I done did all these things. So I done started going back and revisiting where I left off and start pushing it so it can create a stream of income. You know what I'm saying? So basically I'm going to get focused, buckling down, and everything that I was doing maybe a year or two ago, I'm going to pick back up and finish where I left off and start getting the real money from that.
Absolutely. Ain't nothing wrong with that. At this time, you see what's going on economically. We got the Biden administration in office. You see the rise in inflation with food and necessities such as gas. As a business owner, as a hustler, as a grinder, what are some things that you're doing to kind of piggyback off of that, or not like kind of the blunt force of that, like, because you're traveling for these videos, obviously. You're traveling to go drop these dogs off and other things that come along with that.
I ain't even gonna lie, I'm walking with faith. I'm walking with faith, cause I want my stuff to be rare, but I want it to be organically grown, because I feel like it's gonna last longer when it's organically grown. Yeah. So I don't need no fame right now. I'm gonna just take it as it comes. Yeah. And say what I can. Yeah. And and hope that the faith is strong enough to keep me all right, and not to have to worry about no gas money or how I'm paying my rent, all that stuff. So, we gonna be riding. Yeah, Ryan, that is. And if you knew Brute, you would know he mean that literally. I'm not gonna go into any further detail, but
I've been on some of those rides, I gotta tell you that. Well, cuz I had to come over here and give you your flowers real quick. You know, this is the Midwest Breeze Bosses, so what's one thing that comes to mind when you think about the Midwest?
Unique. We all got a different a swagger when you divide the states up in the Midwest, and how we carry ourselves, and the finesse, and you know what I'm saying, the
finesse would be a good word, I would say.
Yeah, the finesse.
Secondly, when you think about boss, well, obviously you're a dog breed, so obviously the terminology, it makes sense. You're like, okay, breeding, I'm creating something, I'm bringing something into this world. But when you think about boss, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's your definition?
Boss is generally, what I think is, to be a boss is just make sure everybody around you able to eat and be self-sufficient. So you basically is birthing people around you opportunities and able to share them with them so they can eat and feed themselves. So I think that's definitely important when you're a real boss.
Absolutely.
Make sure people eat.
Absolutely. What Rick Ross say, real boss is one that guarantee we all eat.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yep. That's the embodiment of you. Big Brute gonna make sure you eat regardless. Yeah. Big Brute ain't missing no meals himself.
I ain't never gonna stop, you hear me?
Alright, so before we get out of here, cuz obviously the new generation, we're around graduation season, people are graduating, different things are happening. This next generation has come from out of the learning period into going into the doing phase. If you had two things that you could say to the youth of today coming up, bossing up, and I don't just define a boss as somebody that owns a company. You could be bossing up in your corporate job. You could be bossing up as a valedictorian, whatever it is that you're doing. If you accelerating, if you elevate, if you add value, then you're a boss. But back to what I was asking you, if you had a few comments for the youth coming out, what would it be?
I would really push them to stay focused early and doing everything that you don't feel like doing early, because when you get maybe like 25 or done with high school, you push through college, then you'll probably be in a better position if you take your life serious as a youngster instead of waiting till you get in your 30s and trying to figure everything out and seeing how much stuff that didn't really matter that you did. So I would say stay focused young and push through, and then you'll have an easier life.
Absolutely. Couldn't be said better. Well, we're gonna end this one right here. I can't wait for y'all to hear this one and pick up some of the gems that Cousin dropped there. Yeah, and this won't be the last one. It's just the first one.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, so good. Yeah.
What did you think of it, guys?
Yeah, it's cool.
It went good.